Alright, we're here. I thought the forest would look a whole lot different. I mean, it looks like just never-ending trees. That's sort of what it is, but not really never-ending. I mean, everything comes to an end, especially your lives. So follow me, gang, and you'll all be safe. I still don't know if I trust her, Beastman. Oh, relax. It's okay. Come on. After hours of wandering, Beastman and Bubblegum and Creepypasta finally made it to their destination. We're here, guys. It's beautiful, isn't it? Not really. Could we go back, please? I mean, I know it would be hours of walking, but, I mean, hours would be better than just staying in the woods. I mean, seriously. Go back? Everyone who's came here hasn't ever wanted to leave. In fact, they didn't even have a choice. Hey, what's that in your hand? Beastman! Beastman! Beastman, stay with me, Beastman. Beastman, no. What did you do? Do you want to be next, Bubblegum? Do you want to be next? No. I can't believe you did this. He was your friend. Don't you know? I have no friends. I haven't. For years. Nobody has ever wanted to be my friend just because I lost my eyes. You know how sad that is? Wait until he loses his last breath. Then he can feel my loneliness. Then he can feel my pain. You guys okay? I don't know. Beastman, he got hit right there. Follow me if you want to live. I'll be able to help you and cure your friend along the way, too. Who are you? I'll tell you on the way. Just follow me. Beastman? Beastman, you're awake. I told you we'd be able to cure him. Who the heck are these people? Why can't I move my leg? Relax, you were just stabbed with a knife. It was almost where your heart was, but seems to be you're all right now. Beastman, this is Pretzel and Starlight Glimmer. They've agreed to help us to stay in the woods since Creepypasta left us, and they also helped you and your leg. Where am I? You are in HR headquarters. In other words, Hilarious Remakes headquarters. What kind of name is that? Hilarious Remakes? Man, even I could have thought of something better. Beastman, don't be too rude to them. They did save your life after all. Fine, but at least take the stupid leg cast off of me. You won't be able to move it until a couple of days. As a matter of fact, try not moving at all, except for sitting up to eat, or we get you something to drink or something like that. And the name was my idea, by the way. What happened to Creepypasta? Is she dead? I stabbed her so your friend here, Bubblegum, wouldn't necessarily die. And you're glad enough that I found you, or else you would have died. say not to move, I believe you, but man, this hurts. Why does it have to be this way? So selfish. Beastman, you weren't selfish. I mean, you were thinking, well, maybe you were a bit selfish, but I mean, it doesn't matter if you're selfish or not. We wouldn't have found these great people. Plus, this is the start of a new adventure. Your leg may hurt at the moment, and there might be bloodstains on your bed. But I mean, hey, it's better than just sitting around doing school. I mean, it's over for summer anyways, but still. I guess you're right. But what about your dad? He doesn't know you're in this much danger. My dad wasn't necessarily a good dad. He never protected me, and he doesn't really care what happens to me, so I guess I'm free. Just try not to get in as much trouble as you were in today, okay? I have a question. Why are you all so sparkly? Oh, we are known as the Pearl Ponies, or the PP, if you like to call it that. PP. But there are only few of us in this forest, and the rest the queen took, if you know what I mean. Who's the queen? You don't know who the queen is? Man, Pretzel, he has a lot to catch up on. Well, it all started back in... Man, I don't even know how many years ago. Well, I'm just gonna guess a year. 1944. The queen sent her guards to go into the forest and see if there were any treasures in it. But she didn't know that there actually weren't any treasures in the forest. Both of the guards struggled to find their way out, but it was too dark to look. Many of the trees were blinding them. Well, many of the trees were blocking their light, and they couldn't find a way out. They guessed, but all they did was lose themselves. It eventually resulted to cannibalism. In that case, the queen knew that the guards have been out there for 2 whole weeks. She sent a few more guards to try to find them, but none of them worked. They all resulted to cannibalism, eating each other, piece by piece, limb by limb. Nothing could stop this. So eventually, the queen, in the court of law, decided to block the woods in order to keep others from resulting to cannibalism. But me and Starlight Glimmer were too curious about, well, how do I say this? We decided to do something stupid and go ahead and go in the forests, even though they were restricted. We ended up losing ourselves too. We almost resorted to cannibalism until a few others came to find us, and they actually succeeded. But one time, they resorted to cannibalism and tried to eat us. We ran until we fell in a mud puddle, and then they held us up in the air by our necks and almost chewed off our hooves until she sent Shining Armor to fight them off. And Shining Armor had been in those forests for a very long time. He lived there once, actually, so he knew his way around. And he didn't resort to cannibalism because nobody was there with him. So after he killed them, we followed him back, but then me and Starlight Glimmer were too clumsy and fell down a hole, along with a few other people that were cannibalistic. That's when there was a pond right behind them, so me and Starlight Glimmer, we jumped into the pond to get away from them, and they followed us. Who knew that that pond was magical? So, you know what happened? We turned into pearl ponies. So, all the other cannibalistic ponies are also pearl ponies, and they aren't evil anymore and cannibalistic and like to eat others, like in the story. Are you saying that we might be cannibals if we stay here? No, I'm saying you want to be careful. We have plenty of food supplies, so you'll never get hungry. But just make sure not to try to, sleep with each other or anything like that, because that is going to be weird, and it might result to cannibalism. Well, I'm going to be sleeping alone in bed for a couple days, so I guess that's a +1, but what about afterwards? I mean, what about your waffle party? My waffle party? I completely forgot about that. Do you know the way out of these woods? No, that's why we've been here for so long. And turns out when you're a pearl pony, you can live forever, so that's why, we never aged. Well, we'll try not to resort to cannibalism. Right, Bubblegum? Yeah, right. But, in the meantime, how long will my leg have to, clear up? About in 4 days, maybe. Great.